That was Ray with Escapism. I'm Natalie Graham here with you on BBC Radio WM. It's just before 25 to 8 and it's Wellness Wednesday, the 9th of August. Always my favourite evening of the week where we get to talk about things that I'd like to think are good for the mind, body and soul, and just plant some little seeds with you about things that you might not have come across before. And I'm very excited to welcome my first guests of the evening. It's not very often I get people coming in to see me in the studio, so it's always a treat. But last week on last week's Wellness Wednesday, I mentioned that this month is actually Psoriasis Awareness Month, and it ties in quite nicely with my next guest because I use someone who is potentially looking for a new skincare brand. Well, a mother and son duo from the West Midlands have created a brand that prioritises natural ingredients. And joining me on the show to tell me more is Jordan Hamilton and Yvonne Williams-Hamilton, founders of CareByJords. How are you both?
Brilliant,
great, thank you.
Nice to see you. Thank you for coming in and taking the time to come into the studio.
Thank you for inviting us.
Now, first and foremost, tell us more about CareByJords and how it all came about, how it all began.
Okay, I'll start, I'm a homeopath, so I've always dealt with alternative therapies, and I've always made my own soaps, creams and stuff since the kids were young. Yeah. So we always watched what we ate, you know, chips and McDonald's. I told them McDonald's was a chip shop because I didn't want them to get into. So if they saw the M, they went, "Mum, chips." Right. So I always monitored what they ate, and they never had sweets and things. It was fruit and that sort of thing.
Okay, so, no fizzy pop?
No fizzy pop. Fizzy water if they wanted it.
Okay.
And they're only limited because of the sodium.
Okay.
So as they got older, I thought, wow, I need to watch what we're putting on our skin. Because, you know, as black people, we tend to moisturise. We have our creams and our, you know, some people use Vaselines and, you know. So I thought, well, I need to watch what we're putting on. So, and I looked at the creams, what they had out there, and they had so many things I couldn't pronounce and didn't know what they were doing. And some people get a rash from certain creams because they, you know, they've got contain certain things. So I thought, well, I'll make my own creams then, and we'll make our own shampoos or something like that rather. So we made soaps. I made soaps. And I sold them, and soaps with a pumice attached to it. So you'd have the soap and a pumice stone in the shape of a foot. So we used to use those, and then I did the creams. And initially Jordan said to me, "Mum, there's something about this cream, I really like it, because when I use it, I don't have to moisturise again all day. And even when you've had a shower and cleaned and scrubbed and that, your skin is soft and not dry and ashy or anything." So... And that was when he said, "Mum, we need to do something with this. I'm going to help you do something with this." And that's how we thought. I said, okay, then that's great.
And this was what? This was back in just before the lockdown kicked in, so 2019?
So this was just before the lockdown, So it tied in with a lot of things that were happening at the time. So like, you know, like life just kind of hits you, doesn't it?
Yes,
so
it does.
It just hits you. So like, it's like loads of things just hit us at the same time. So it was like, I lost my job through I didn't lose my job. I had to stop working because of an injury. And then I had a rash that was just covering my whole neck, and it was just really bad. Like it was eczema.
That stress related or...
Well, was that stress related? I've always had eczema, and so like she cured my eczema as a child,
right?
So I had it really bad on my legs, and she cured it, so I didn't have it at all. Then it started flaring back up, and then that's when we started really like doubling down and using the cream. And then at that time, I was like, oh, we want something that will like hydrate our skin, keep it hydrated, make you walk out of the house, make you feel like amazing, but smell good, everything feel good. Because a lot of like natural products as well, they might not have the best texture, they might not have the best smell, scent and so on. So literally was in the room
in
upstairs, in the lab, in the bedroom.
You created a little lab,
playing with like all
two
different
scientists
oils
at work.
And I remember one day we was messing around with scents. And we knew what we wanted. We wanted something that's like a bit like masculine,
male,
but not too
musky.
Yeah, a bit musky.
Oh, there we go. That's a fair.
Exactly.
That was it.
So it was literally we knew what we was going for, but we just wanted something that everyone would like, because we knew that a lot of ladies, they like male fragrances as well. So it was like, oh, let's go for that. And then we left the day not being able to smell anything because we were messed with too much. Essentially.
A sensory overload.
So we couldn't smell it. But we made a scent that like was amazing. And it was friendly to the skin when we did add it to the products.
Right.
And ever since, like, people have used it, they've replaced their steroid creams with our cream, what we've created.
Yeah.
And everybody loves the scent as well, because, like, a big thing that people forget as well is, like, aromatherapy.
Yes.
And that's the actual whole treatment. So it's, like, to remove that from the products you're applying to your skin is a big, like, you're missing something there. So it's, like, you need to really be aware that the scent actually has its own therapeutic benefits as well.
And can enhance the mood and just 100%. I've got all the aromatherapy oils and incense burners and all sorts. So it's like people are like, it's like coming into a spa when they come into mine. But I think it does help to, like you said, create a mood. So if you can take that with you whilst you're on the go, then it makes it has a huge impact. I've got to ask as well, because just in terms of the ingredients and obviously the fact that you've highlighted on sticking to natural ingredients, how easy or difficult has that been to source some of those? Because it can't be a sort of an easy process, surely.
Initially, it wasn't that difficult, was it?
Yeah, it's not difficult, but then it's like, because you can get tied into just one supplier, then you could be like, we've had times like, I think it was last year, and like we had some ingredients that was stuck on a boat in the middle of nowhere, and you just stuck all, like, then they can just increase the price on you and you've got no real kind of option, because you need to use those ingredients, and especially like you want to have integrity. Like, if I'm saying we're going to use this, and that's the main thing, like we wanted to say, because a lot of companies will just put a label on things and say it's natural or whatever, but we had a big thing
when you check out the small print.
Exactly. And we're accountable, so it's like we've got our faces to it. So if someone sees something and it doesn't match up, or like even one time I did try change the rose water. It was still a natural rose water, but it was from a different supplier. Straight away.
Totally different.
Smells different, Jordan. What's wrong with this, Jordan?
Something
Mom has spoken.
So it was like, straight away, it was still natural, still like premium ingredients, but it just gave a different result because it's from a different place. So it's like, we have to be really careful. And like, even with some places, like they might use a natural ingredient, but what have they used to extract that ingredient? And it's like, you have to get into the minutiae. That can also
impact, the potency of things that you're putting in. Would you say then that's one of the biggest differences between your brand and those that are available, let's say the sort of mainstream high street brands?
That, and that we put a good amount of...
It's a proportion of...
You're not stingy with it.
Yeah, exactly, because it's all...
And watering it down,
It's actually, I think that's a really good point, because
I think that
a lot of them, they'll get away just by putting a small percentage and saying, the product's this, like shea butter, but when you look at it, majority
it's got about 0.5%.
Exactly. And they're using that to claim... make any claim. So I think that's a good point, and that's why our products work so well.
And that's why it works, and I think that's why
because we're not stingy. We was like, okay, what's good for this? Because women was like, okay, what can hydrate your skin but not block your pores?
Yes,
get it all and chucked it all in.
And hope for the best. Now, also, I understand that you pack a lot of the orders yourselves. Why is that something that's also important to you?
It's just, again, accountability. Like, I think a lot of customers, they like the fact that it's still us that's doing everything, and just the fine detail that we put on things, and then as well, I think
the packaging.
They probably like it as well because we put gifts in.
Yeah, they love it.
I've got to say, I mean, while we're talking about this, I feel like I'm being teased here because there's a box that's sat in between both of you. I mean, it could just be that you just walk around with an empty box. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Just to pick up a little bit of litter along the way. So, can I just do like a little live on-air reveal? What have we got in here now? Oh, let's have a look. Oh, there we go. Right. So for everybody, oh my goodness me, that's weighty as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
So loving the branding here.
So
this is
packaged
beautiful.
in glass, So that's like we do pouches, like refill pouches as well.
Yeah,
for like
so people who want to, who want to make sure that there's.
Because we have a lot of loyal customers, and they will just buy the refill pouch, refill the jar.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. This is some real. I mean, this looks like high-end packaging as well.
Yeah.
So you've really put some proper due care and attention into sort of not just sourcing the ingredients,
the
but I think the
packaging's
because a lot of the time
probably
people,
harder
if
to
they're
get.
sort of in the supermarkets or whatever, the chemists, wherever they may be, they will shop. We'll shop with our eyes
100%.
before we even think, oh, that bottle looks nice. Let me have a little sniff of that. But this looks stunning. We've got soap. We've got all sorts, and I know that some of your products as well contain hemp, which I know is something that is of beneficial in many different ways. There's a few people I think that are now starting to introduce it. So again, just in terms of all the sort of the key ingredients, then this is something that is also beneficial to the skin. I'm going to pop that. I'm not running away with this, by the way. I'm going to pop this here because when I go to the next track, I'm going to start having the sniff test. But I'm going to spare everybody whilst we're live on air. What are your personal favourites within your range?
I've got a favourite. So my favourite, hands down, is our cleansing gel.
Okay.
I shouldn't say it, but it's probably my favourite because I love it. I enjoy using it the most because basically.
Why should you not say this?
Because everything's fantastic.
Okay. It's like trying to choose your favourite child.
It is.
Exactly.
It is.
Everything's
Isn't it?
fantastic.
It is.
But that one, it works on the idea that the dirt on your skin is oil-based. Everything is oil-based. So when you're washing it with water, you're not getting oil and water don't mix.
Yes.
So you're not really getting the oil or the dirt off. Mm-hmm. So this combines with the oil on your skin, and then when you add water, it just falls off.
Wow,
but when
okay.
you're using it, you'll feel your fingers get a bit rough,
and
that's because of pustules of little sebum and everything's just popping out onto your fingers.
Really?
Yeah, so it's it just naturally just cleanses your pores. It's an amazing product. And then why it's good as well, because you're massaging your face, it helps with lymphatic drainage. So it just.
Well, you're the perfect walking advert for it, might I say. I hope you don't mind me saying, Mum. But in terms of your skin, is absolutely flawless. So clearly there's something in there that's doing something right. I've got to say, I love the fact as well that as a male, that you are someone who cleanses, because that's the kind of thing as women, we have makeup always on, that kind of stuff, and then we'll go through the cleansing process and then sort of take it all off and take off the mask before we go to bed. But it's not very often that you will come across men who do the cleansing process. I think more and more now people are getting into it, and men are becoming much more aware of their skincare. I've got some of my male friends that just Natalie, what creams do you use, and so on and so forth. I just want to say, very, very impressed by that. I am very impressed indeed. Now, I'm assuming as well, a lot of your customer base, has that been spreading via word of mouth?
Yes,
initially
word
it was,
of mouth,
yeah.
So
And
pretty much, all word of mouth.
Yeah.
Obviously, do social media and stuff like that, but it's all word of mouth. Yeah.
Indeed.
And what about for children? Are the products child friendly?
Oh yes.
Okay. Because there's going to be parents as well who are listening. And again, as you mentioned, if you grew up and the fact that children had eczema, again, I've mentioned it's Psoriasis Awareness Month. So one of my guests last week, they've again have suffered heavily with psoriasis since they were a child. So I know that there's a lot of parents who are very conscious nowadays, even if their children don't have skin conditions. They're just I think people are becoming more open-minded, thinking, well, hold on a minute, what is absorbing into my child's skin, or what shampoos and conditioners am I using on their hair, and is it good for them? So this is something that is basically the whole family.
Yeah, I'd say people just go on the website and see the reviews, because you'll see how many people have said, "Oh, this is fantastic." A lot of our customers buy it for their kids,
right?
Yes. They buy it for their kids from infants to teenagers regularly.
Okay.
So it's I know one customer in a review, she's like, this is the only product her son will use.
Okay.
And her son's is in his teens, or this is the only product I use for my 4-year-old and stuff like that. So in our reviews, please go and look at it. It's www.CareByJords.com.
Perfect. I was just about to ask the question. So www.CareByJords.com, and any social media links?
Yeah, it's all CareByJords everywhere.
Nice,
so if you just
simple.
at CareByJords, you'll find us.
A lot of people have come back to us because we never made it for eczema or psoriasis, and a lot of them have come back and said their psoriasis has gone. Right. And it's better, isn't it? And
again, it's the natural, The natural side of things can make a huge difference. Yeah. Well, I'm going to I'm going to let you crack on, and I could sit here and talk to you all day, because one of the things that I didn't mention is Yvonne is also a Reiki master. So for everyone who's listening now, they're going to be thinking, oh my goodness me, don't get her started on the Reiki, as in me, not you, by the way. That's what I meant. But so yes, at some stage, might even be speaking with you again on that front. But all the best with the brand. The fact that, like I said, it looks fantastic. I'm going to have a little sniff of it now as well. So I'm sure it smells great, as you've told me. But the fact you've come this far in such a short space of time, then I'm really excited to see where the journey's going to be taking you. So, and have you won some awards?
Yeah, we won a
skincare award. Let me mention
Yes.
that before I let you go.
Yeah, we won an award. So it's a funny story, actually. So I entered the skincare competition, Natural Women Health and Beauty, and then I didn't become a finalist. We didn't become finalists for some of the categories I wanted to be.
Right.
So they said, the awards ceremonies on this date, and it was in the middle of COVID. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll watch it, because it was all virtual.
Yeah.
And I completely forgot about it, but I forgot about it because I was already annoyed.
We're not nowhere, yeah.
Because I was like, we're not in the category I wanted.
Yeah.
And then I was at my brother's, and then next thing you know, I'm chatting mid-conversation with my brother, saw a notification come up on my phone.
Congratulations!
And it was it said, winner of an award.
You've won the biggest prize.
A tear come down my eye. I was like, what the hell? I was like, I missed the whole award ceremony because I didn't think I was going to win anything. And then we've won, and I was like, that's validation for outside validation.
Yeah.
Like, our customers, I love our customers. They're brilliant, more than anyone realises. But to have a validation from someone who isn't a customer and actual recognised magazine and that
helps
that was
to
fantastic.
make it mean that much more. Loving this. Well, like I said, you've got an incredible journey ahead. You've already come so far. So